Hello.
Well, hello.
Welcome to podcast number 13.
Barely 13.
Wow, yeah, it's 13.
I have to comment on it every time.
Yep.
I poured water into a mug because it feels proper that I have a mug.
Okay, I thought you made tea right on the spot somehow.
Like that quick. Dude, I wish.
Like when you put it between your legs, it just heated it up like a boiling pot of water.
Yeah, the heat from my balls just heated it right up.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
a candle
Pretty much.
in the wind
All right.
by Elton John.
I'm James.
I'm Sky the moviegoer.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. So today we're just talking about the recommendations from last week as far as I know.
Yeah. We
I
might have a topic next week.
I'm also going to need to think of a recommendation for you
Fuck, you're right.
throughout this
On the-
podcast.
I have
Well,
to
you
do it on
had
the
a few on
spot.
the back burner. I don't.
I had a few, but like, I don't know.
I'll have come up with something by the end of this.
Yeah, I think so too. So, okay, yeah, we started with mine. So that means
Last week we did. So this week we're starting with my recommendation.
Oh, God damn it.
And I'm really excited.
We're getting right into the meat of it then.
Yeah. I'm really excited to know your thoughts on this movie, and we're either going to argue or we're going to double down on one opinion.
It might be a mix of both, I think.
Okay.
I did good at not spoiling it, but that's because I watched it on the day of.
Yeah, you watched it today, this morning.
And might I add, it's Midsommar, by the way.
What?
That your recommendation to me.
Oh, yeah.
is what
Oh,
we're
did I
talking-
not
the
say
movie
that?
we're talking about.
Okay.
No, you said your recommendation. So it's Midsommar from A24 Productions. So yeah, after seeing The Lighthouse,
Directed by the Ari Aster,
Aster, yeah.
the director of Hereditary. Great movie.
Honestly, I can see similarities on how they direct shit.
Yeah,
I can see
okay.
how these two movies are pretty similar. But it was, and I also see how it's similar to The Lighthouse too, because A24. So after seeing The Lighthouse, it was nice to see. Oh, A24, all right.
Yeah, A24 is responsible for a lot of artsy films.
Well, yeah, because they're an independent entertainment company, aren't they?
I can't claim to know much about A24. I just know they make the movies for people who are movie dorks.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna add, just really quick to preface this. This is all you know. When I finished the movie, I came out to the front room where you were sitting on the couch, and I just said, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Sorry,
And-
I'm looking for... Okay, I found it.
And what I want to know is, why the fuck did you recommend me this?
I told you why.
No, yeah, but I wish I hadn't seen it.
Okay, well, you wanted to see it
Like,
anyway. At
I
some
did
point.
want to. This is not what I expected at all. Like, I'm glad I didn't see this before going to bed.
Really? Okay, so it sounds like you enjoyed it then.
I didn't enjoy it, but I got a lot out of it.
Okay, so
I am very disturbed from this movie.
it actually accomplished what it was supposed to for you.
I'm uncomfortable now thinking about it.
Okay.
I need to. And
So
I
for
I
me-
need to watch The Lighthouse to ease up a bit.
So for me, it did not accomplish that, though it was clearly trying to.
And strange. Why didn't you feel that?
Why didn't... Well,
Okay,
why...
more like why did I?
yeah, why did you?
I realized that was an illogical question. Well, okay, I guess I'll start off with a few things. So I did not expect it to, like, I don't know, go in that direction, but same director of Hereditary, who has a thing for cults, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess the quick synopsis is that a group of friends travel to Sweden for one of their friends' like cultural gathering or whatever,
Yeah,
and it turns
Midsummer.
out to be like this really huge cult that has its own way of operating things. So it's all kind of like and it plays out kind of like the Ritual plays out.
Yeah, it's just
Except
saying...
the Ritual's kind of more like a classic horror film where they get rid of people one by one, and this just feels different, I guess.
It's supposed to be... Yeah, it's the Swedish I guess.
And I'm never going to go to Sweden now, so thanks.
Tradition of Midsommar. So it's a real thing. Obviously, it's not.
I just kind of got the bare bones of why they were going there.
It's not the way it is in the movie.
Yeah,
clearly.
and it follows not that movie, but it follows just mostly an estranged couple.
I guess.
Well, like a not an estranged, but like okay, so one. Yeah, spoilers. Obviously,
I've got so many opinions.
the one girl, like, just lost her family, so she's gonna be going with her friends. But her and her boyfriend have been in an unhappy relationship for at least a year at that point.
Okay, wait. So the theme.
So I thought I was gonna follow that more or less, and then it just completely fucking changes it.
It did.
Well, it does, yeah.
In an artsy, fartsy way, like. By the end, obviously spoilers for this movie. Did you feel like what they were trying to convey is like this girl got rid of all the toxicity in her life because that guy's dead, and like, you got that?
I did not get that. No, I more or less I'm left a little like
she chose to kill him.
Yeah, no, I got that, but I was like. This movie is a little like
pretentious. Okay.
I want to say pretentious. No.
Oh, I would.
That's weird because I would say The Lighthouse would be more pretentious, but it's hilarious.
I disagree. The Lighthouse has farts in it.
Literal farts.
It's a little hard to be.
I mean, just from a description, I guess. I mean, A24 could be pretentious, but like, I wasn't thinking of it like that. I was more or less just curious of where things were gonna go, so I didn't really like interpret anything other than what was directly going on. And then near the end, I was like, okay, they pulled a Hereditary. Well, and I don't really... I'm a little left in the dark when it comes to that ending. But I'll get into that. I think if I'm talking about that, it's biting off a little more than I can chew.
Well, it's absolutely meant to be interpreted.
Yeah, but I mean, it's weird that you say, "Oh, she cut all the toxicity in her life," and I'm like, "They're both."
That was supposed to be the idea.
They're both pretty awful to each other.
That's the thing. That's my problem with it. I think because the movie wants you to think the guy's a terrible guy, and I didn't think he was.
Yeah, and I mean, I see this. Yeah, I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, this relationship clearly has its problems.
Right,
and it's like it's a relationship that has problems in a complex way that you don't really get in movies.
No, I mean,
it's just like you see like bare bones, like, oh, he's going distant on me. They could have really pulled the he's going distant on her, but she's not mentally stable.
That's fine, but this guy, like what I saw in this movie was the guy trying his fucking best, and like they're painting him like he's a jackass.
I want to say he's trying his best. I think he's kind of lost hope for the relationship, and he's a bit selfish.
How's he selfish?
Because
if you don't want to be in the relationship anymore, then you should break it off.
That's not that easy.
And he was planning to break it off.
No, he was thinking about it for a year.
Yeah, but you're not gonna fucking do that when her parents just died.
Well, yeah, that's why. So that's why he was holding that back. And I mean, he said like they both had conversations to friends about thinking about breaking it off, and they're both like, we'll regret it later. I don't know. And that's a real thing. People are in relationships because that reason, or they think, oh, I can't find anyone better.
Clearly. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that's not. I'm just saying the way.
I don't think the guy is flawless because at the party, like he did withhold.
No, I didn't.
Withhold saying that, oh, me and my buddies are going to be going to Sweden for X amount of time. They even have an argument saying like, and she at first was like, you held this from me, and then as the argument passes on, she more and more kind of bends to his point of view until she's apologizing and then like grabbing him, like nearly begging him to stay. And I'm like,
I think you assumed I'm taking sides. I don't think either of them are very bad, but this movie definitely paints him as bad and her as like she needs to be cleansed of him.
Oh, I guess.
She literally she's
at the end it paints him as bad, but in the beginning I was definitely like, this girl's like needs help.
This isn't my
she
only
needs to seek help. I guess.
This clearly isn't my only problem with it. I've got plenty of issues with like just the story itself.
I mean, if I
personally.
try to like break open like what happened, I guess, but I'm more or less like at the end I'm writing it off as they manipulated both of them more to turn her against him pretty much.
Basically, he's
They
basically
used him pretty much.
Basically, he's like possessed to start fucking cheating on her, and then she sees it. And
they said yeah, it was like that he was drugged and he was influenced. He was more when you're drugged like that, you're more susceptible to influence. And with like tribes and cults like that, they can absolutely do like that, some mind control shit. And
yeah,
I mean, also,
nothing he was in control of.
And horror. Well, I mean, it does flirt with the idea of like, oh, there's like other hormones, that ulterior motives there, that like, oh, his deep beastly desires, and I mean, it also like pretty much establishes once he nuts, he sobers up, and he's just like, oh shit.
I mean,
But
what does that have to do with anything?
what do you mean, what's that have to do anything? You brought it up.
Yeah, I know. I just don't see the point you were going with there, because like, if he had those desires, they clearly both had the desire not to be in the relationship. But he wasn't acting on them. He was brainwashed.
Yeah,
He
well,
was
I mean,
controlled.
no, I mean that's the point I'm getting at is that it's show you say that he's controlled, but was he?
Yes.
Was he?
Did we watch the same movie?
We watched the movie.
We
Well,
watched
it's
the same
obvious.
movie.
It's okay. It's like, are there ghosts in The Shining? Someone who isn't thinking about it is like, yes. But you could argue no. And I could argue that he wasn't possessed. He was and wasn't. The whole movie kind
I
of
think you're giving the movie too much credit.
You say that's a write-off.
Why?
You're writing that off if I think I'm giving it too much credit.
No, I really do,
I
because I think it's not that deep.
Well, I think the whole time, like, he's been thinking about it.
I think it
Like,
wants...
you get that one scene where they're like going in where they're like dancing and she kicks him at the side, and then like they exchange look. They exchange looks the whole time.
Sure.
But I mean, like, he could have been brainwashed the whole time, but I mean, he could have wanted to the whole time. It's like,
But that's him. Him
they
him doesn't do anything unfaithful.
They even say that in they even foreshadow that in the beginning, come to think of it, when Josh tells him, like, I think there's a little bit of masochistic in you if you're actually that
I don't know who that is.
the black guy.
Okay.
And then he's like, there's, I don't know, it's like maybe there's this inner masochistic side to you that actually just wants to live out this pain of being with her. So it's like there's probably some inner like thing that makes him want to just do something awful. Where everyone kind of has that. If we're getting to like the psychology shit.
Okay,
So
I mean...
there are some signs that at least I pick up in the movie that like it kind of hints at both of them. At both of them, like they both kind of want to be unfaithful.
I see it as irrelevant because they
mostly-
weren't until there was other things at play that they were in control of.
Because
the whole thing is...
I do agree with you, Laura. I think it's a little whack that, you know, she just gets away with that one. Like, she also wanted out of the, like, you know, she wasn't that good to him either.
Well,
and she also just straight up kissed that other dude.
yeah, see, like, there's that. I just think the movie...
And she shrugged that off. I mean,
the
everyone
movie
shrugged that
tried
off.
to portray it as one of them's bad and one of them's good.
I don't know about both, about one of them, but by the end, yeah, I guess.
By the end, for sure, because they literally had her covered in flowers, having this rebirth like she's amazing, and she needs to get rid of that bad toxicity in her life.
That's true.
And they have him fucking burning to death in a bear.
With the fire behind him. Yeah, I guess with that imagery itself, I can agree with you there. Like, I think that's a little much if he wasn't all that bad. They could have made him get worse, but... I mean, they're both pretty bad to each other and throughout the whole movie. That they could have. Honestly, I would have preferred that they just sat down and like worked it out. Honestly,
all right. Let me.
Or that I wanted him to like. At first, when they're at the dinner table, when I saw him like he was like drugging out, he was looking really sad. He was just wondering what was going on. I hoped that he was going to go to her and be like, "I'm sorry, I haven't been there for you. I haven't been that good." and then she's like, "Oh, I'll try to do better for you."
No, I don't think either of them are great. I think it's a bad relationship, but I don't think that's what the movie wants you to take from it.
It's portrayed in a realistic way, in a
Mm.
really realistic and complex way, but like just at the end, like yeah, they do kind of portray him as like, oh, he's the bad dude. He was the one that was awful, not her.
I think
if you're not all there, or like you're emotionally like really easily like upset or whatever, not mentally stable, then you're 100% in the clear.
I think
you have no responsibility. That's kind of like what it says at the end, but like throughout it's normal.
I think he was trying. I think she was trying as well. I think they were both trying.
I think they were both trying, and I thought they were both pretty bad to each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works.
That's not how the movie wants you to see it.
Also, I didn't like her immediately when like in that one scene where they were talking about like, oh, he like another guy in a couple like just left them unexpectedly, but it was a lie, of course, like that the cult said, and then she was just like, I could see you doing that. And he was like,
I don't remember everything.
He was like, excuse me, and she was like, oh, nothing, and I'm like, I hate that. I also just hate it when like someone says something snarky and I don't hear it immediately, and I'm like, what? Like, oh, nothing. I'm like, that's a coward ass move.
You've done that to me.
I mean, sometimes it'd be a stupid joke.
Hang on. I did think I think his name's Will Poulter, the actor. I don't know what his name is in the movie. The comedic relief character. I liked that. I liked how he was.
Oh, the greaser looking kid.
I don't know.
Out of the group, the four people.
The dorky guy. Well, not dorky. I don't know. He usually plays like a dorkier character.
Okay, out of the main guys of group, it's the we got Chris, which is the main dude.
He peed on their tree or whatever.
Yeah, okay, the greaser looking dude.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah,
he looked greasery to
That's
me.
the guy I'm talking about. I liked his character enough. Like
I saw him and I was like, oh, come on. I don't know. He just his face looks like an archetype, and then he ended up growing on me.
I liked how he was used, but again, I can't say I liked this character because I don't think any character was that strongly developed. Now let me reread what I read when I initially talked about Midsommar.
Well, also I want
you can now like understand what I'm saying.
Well, I wanted to throw out a couple other things, like really quick. They're kind of small because like there's a few details that I picked up, and I think this I think this movie does like have a lot of details in it, like I love the camera work.
Well, yeah, I thought the camera work was good.
Cinematography is done, and it's like I didn't actually know what was going to be going on when they get to Sweden, and like the upside down shot of the car, like when it goes more and more upside down until it fully is, just showed me like, okay, this is going to be fucking awful. It's like we're going into like a really weird place,
okay,
and then it shows the forward shot of them driving, and it's all upside down, and then. Which is just immediately like, okay, this just says that our characters are going to be going to an unknown place, and it's disorienting. And then when it finally goes right side up, it really does feel disorienting, because then when it was normal, I was just like, huh, what the fuck? I already felt dizzy just from that, I guess. So
I was going to say that I think I thought it was really obvious what was going to happen with this place.
Oh, I didn't know anything.
Like as soon as they got there, because it's a horror movie.
Well, yeah. I didn't know it was a horror movie. You just said "quote unquote" horror movie, so I was just like, all right, it's probably like a thriller or whatever. But I mean, when they got there, I was like, okay, sure. No, I knew like something was fucked about this place, but I didn't really know what, and I didn't like. Sure, there's lots of they do like gory things and incest and whatever. Like I even picked up early on in a sign, like the first time they all sit down for dinner. The tables, like the big fucking outdoor table, is arranged in a rune, like a symbol, and like it really shows you when it has like that overhead shot of the whole table, and the rune. What the fuck? I don't know what it's actually called, but it's an upside down rune, which normally means like I can draw it for you. It's like the diamond, but parts of it overhang a little bit. Like right side up, it means paradise.
All right.
It means paradise, like a utopia. And since it was upside down in the shot, that means the opposite.
I have no problem with the cinematography.
Oh no, I'm saying that was a movie detail. Like there was that was like clear foreshadowing that this place is the opposite of paradise and a dystopia. There was also another detail that didn't end up being like put in later.
Is that what it's trying to say or not?
It is.
Because like I have to disagree with thematically. Like the movie disagrees with itself. Then
why?
Because you're supposed to like. The idea is that this girl is getting her freedom.
No, I mean the place was the foreshadowing. Like the place is like it looks like a paradise, but it isn't.
So it's like it kind of is supposed to be, like a paradise.
Because it's fucked up. It's like a cult. They do really fucked up things, so it's not. To her, it could be, but that's because she embraces that darkness pretty much. And there was another one. I think it was another upside down room that I saw, or maybe I'm just fucking completely backwards. I could be misremembering, but it was like that scene where like they cut the hands and shit, and she like right when the old people are about to jump off the cliff, which by the way, that one fucked me up just seeing all that gore. When she touches the gravestone, like front and center of that is another upside down rune of like a pitchfork looking thing, and right side up it normally means connection to God and like everything religion and holy. So upside down, I'm assuming that just means it had to do with like, you know, everything that was unholy and Satan and all that shit. But it didn't really have a whole lot to do with that. So that was more or less just a little like, oh, that's cool.
Okay.
That wasn't as much as like a thing as the upside down paradise rune. So I guess now you can carry on. That's all I wanted to get out. Some of those details that I picked up on and I liked, and that I understood.
The cliff to me that part was like I think I saw what they were going for, but then like I don't know, I felt like I saw through it. Like I
saw the cliff too, and I was like, they're gonna be jumping off.
I was just like, it's shocking.
Well,
it's gory.
Well, I predicted it too that was gonna happen, but I don't deduct points from it.
No, it didn't work on me. Like I could tell it was supposed to be this crazy ass like intense moment that you're like, you can't believe what you're seing.
Well, I mean, seeing those effects like upset me.
Okay.
Like I was just like, damn. it looked pretty gnarly, and it was more or less like this is like front and center. This place is fucked.
To me, it didn't feel earned, is what I'm saying. But that's fair.
I kind of thought it did because there was a lot of buildup from this place already, and you knew something was wrong. So I don't know.
So here's what I wrote, and I'll just read the whole thing so you can tell me what you got problems with. And I hope I can back myself up on all these points because I haven't seen it in quite a while now. So I hope I remember what I meant. Okay, so I wrote, I thought it was really well shot, so there's that. And there was a lot to like about the production, and performances ranged from fine to great, which, yeah. Some of them weren't amazing.
I don't think they were really...
Most were pretty good.
I won't say any performance in here was really great.
It's not like amazing, no.
Maybe also the Danny, the girl, she cries like one of those.
I thought she was pretty good.
I thought she cries like one of those rubber gooses, rubber chickens that you push down like.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
Actually, her performance I thought was pretty good.
That was pretty good, but I wouldn't say anyone was great.
No, but I think she might have been one of the better ones. None of them stand out to me now. I wrote this like a month ago.
There's no real standout performances here.
Then I said, but I think the actual story wasn't really groundbreaking. I agree with that. This has literally been done before. The Wicker Man. There was another movie called Midsommar, literally called Midsommar, that followed pretty much the same idea.
Yeah, like I already said, The Ritual as well.
Yeah, and like so. I don't know. It wasn't really groundbreaking, but that's okay because I don't think it has to be. Clearly, I like a lot of things like Joker, for example, that are inspired or like pretty much copy and paste an idea from somewhere else. But a different take on something can make all the difference, and you could still make something great.
Yeah,
it's how the fucking world works. It's how all art works, obviously. But yeah, just a note, I guess, kind of a neutral point. Not really a groundbreaking story. But
I can
okay,
agree
wait.
with that.
While I'm on that, the burning him in the bear,
I thought that was a little
that was
strange.
straight out of Wicker Man. They burned the dude in a bear costume.
Maybe Danny saw that and was like,
uh,
put him in the bear. I don't know what the deal was there. Like, I don't know.
okay.
Like, also seeing her like upset right before, like when I was doing the verdict, like seeing how sad she was. My heart was out to her until she was like, kill him, and I was just like, okay.
okay. There were a handful of plot conveniences, which I can't tell you specifically, but if you notice the same thing, you know what I'm talking about. There were a lot of plot conveniences in this movie.
There weren't.
There were a lot of times where it was just like, oh, well, that's handy. I remember feeling that multiple times, but I can't back it up because I can't remember too much about the little intricacies. You saw it today, so maybe you know what I'm talking about.
I want to say I think I need an example because I can't think of any. So,
well, this follows up with that. Plot convenience and the characters didn't really escape the horror trope of being stupid. I thought the characters were really fucking dumb in this movie.
yeah.
Like, even just think of the comic relief character, which I was praising as a relief character. Like, could you really see someone going and peeing on that tree in real life?
No, not really. But I mean, like, it's not like it's an uncommon thing to do. It's just a pee on a tree. But yeah.
But yeah, okay. I know there were.
I guess like there could be like they're a bit dumb, but they're not like incredible levels of stupid.
No, they were pretty bad part. Okay, that one I have more specific examples. I don't remember like everything completely specifically, but there were so many times where a character was just like asked to do something that was really fucking shady, and it's like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
No, I can agree.
no
Like-
one would do
Like
that.
when the comic relief character dies, and she's just like,
That too.
"Here, let me show you.
Okay.
Show me what." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, and
I mean, I would have written it off more if that was an attractive ass girl.
okay.
Well, I mean, no, that will give the character more motive than just like.
Well, being attractive is subjective.
Well, okay, I mean, like to the character, I guess.
I know the main guy was a great example of this.
Here,
like
drink
he
this.
was
Okay.
he was totally like, I don't think I want to do this, and then he just does.
No, like yeah, the main drink that fucked him up, that made him do that thing, was just, I don't know why I'm being vague, but yeah, she literally said, "Oh, it has tea and a special thing that makes you more open to influence." Like those
Sure,
words
I'll drink it.
specifically. He was like, "No, have a bad trip." No, it's fine. Oh, okay.
All right.
Gulp.
Oh, all right.
I mean, they've already been drinking shit like throughout the whole movie. They could have just done that, but like that was just pretty fucking blatant. So I agree there.
There were plenty of.
They could have like I think that drink was more or less like a cop out than like actually developing him more, getting an urge to be like, you know what, fuck her, fuck Danny, and then he goes out and does that thing. Because at first he seems like all right about it. He just seems like really indifferent to what happened. So they could have built him up more, as opposed to like, oh, I'm gonna drink this thing. Drinking makes me go fuck. I guess like that doesn't make much sense. I don't see the whole correlation there.
Yeah, the characters.
Like sure, like I did say earlier, like sure it hints at it, but it could have hinted at it more, or gone all the way with it.
The characters just generally to me felt shallow and dumb.
I mean, it could have been. The movie doesn't really like show it, but that drink could have just been a placebo.
I gotta say, you're giving it too much credit.
I know,
you can't say I'm right.
I was just about to say
okay.
I'm kind of reaching though.
Okay.
I wish it were the case.
Okay,
Like, that'd be really cool. But like the whole time, everything is really wiggly, and like he's not doing okay. Like you can see him like jittering and like looking around all paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that even like when they were like leaving him, they're all leaving him behind. That could have like made him a bit more sad. And like if he saw his friend just kissed his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That could have gave him reason to like, feel worse or like, push him to go do that thing. But it didn't. Like there's a lot of things that they could have did, but they just didn't. It feels like it was a little lazy, at least in that part. So yeah, the main character is pretty fucking stupid.
I thought most of them were, but all right. And yeah, I wrote also thought it was just kind of pretentious. Yes, I definitely think this movie's pretentious. It also was 2.5 hours long, and I definitely felt the length.
I felt the length as well, and you know that.
There was a really cool and alluring.
I was 30 minutes in, and I thought I was an hour and 30 minutes in.
Mm-hmm. But I gotta say, there was a really cool and alluring opening. But then I felt like they just kind of never referred to it again. I don't know. I really liked the opening. The opening felt like Hereditary, and when I started watching it, I was like, I think I'm gonna like this.
Oh yeah, because the way like it develops her.
Yeah, the way it shows the thing with her parents and everything.
And her family, yeah.
And admittedly, I was like, I don't see how this is going to end up.
And there was some
being at
cool,
Midsommar in Sweden.
There was some cool like callbacks to it, like shots and stuff.
Well,
like it doesn't. You can take out that whole thing, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it won't really make that much of a difference.
For the most part, they just dropped the ball on it, but it was like an intriguing opening. And like it made me want to see what was going to happen with it, and nothing. They were just like, never mind.
But also, I was interested in like, Danny and Chris's. Is his name Chris?
I don't know their names. I can't sell you.
I think so. I'm gonna say the boy. I'm gonna call him Danny Boy. So Danny and Danny Boy.
I did not feel like I needed to watch this movie again for this.
I like their dynamic in their relationship. It had me interested because it was actually complex, but
them together,
it just changes.
Them together every time, was interesting enough. I give it that for sure. But the whole point is that when they're together, nothing really gets accomplished.
Well, the point is that it shows that they're not
functional.
They talk close, like they're close to each other, but they're not really. You can see that in their body language.
They're not actually functional, and that's what I did like about those two having, like, their relationship was probably the biggest pull back to the movie after the opening sequence, which I thought was the most interesting part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
There's also some weird parts, like when she first saw him cheat on her, and then like all the women started like crying and panting with her.
Well, the idea was they were brainwashing her too. So like she felt they were building her up, like, quote, they were all like, the point was they were all like the same person. They all feel the same pain.
Or like they're with her.
And same with him. That. When he was fucking the girl, all the women were moaning at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, the idea is that
they were singing like they were. They weren't like moaning, but they were singing like it.
And the idea was that they're all like connected and becoming one, and like they're all interweaved and whatever.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when they got to, I don't know, this movie's a lot more graphic than I thought I thought it would be.
You know,
I saw some dick flopping around.
I'd say same, but like, it all just kind of felt wasted on this movie to me.
I mean, I think that's what makes this movie stand out for me, honestly, because I think about all the scenes and I'm like, that's really grisly and disturbing. I probably never watched it again for that same reason. But it goes a little too far for me, I think, to be like,
okay,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just a little like, ugh.
Do you think that's like a fair reason to like say it was good? Well, I guess you haven't said it was good. I don't know what you...
Yeah, you're putting words in my mouth.
I don't know what you think of it overall.
Is that all you had written down too?
Hang on. So, because I did think about that. I've thought of pieces of this movie since I saw it. Because individual scenes and shots in this movie do stick with you, for better or for worse, just because the nature of it. Like, it'll stick with you because, like, wow, that was kind of messed up, or like, oh, I can't believe I saw that, or like, that was so weird, what did I see? And it just sticks with you in that way. I don't think that gets it points from me, though. I don't think it takes a lot to show you something that's fun. Like, that's what 13 Reasons Why does. It shows you something that's like assaulting on the senses, and then you remember it. But that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's just being shocking just for the sake of being shocking.
All right.
I do get what it's trying to do, or like contextually, like what it means, and it's not just the shocking things that make it memorable for me. If they like made the whole focus just about her parents dying and her relationship and shit, I'm pretty sure they could have also made an equally like memorable thing. And who knows, could have had a whole different type of movie, but they opted for like the cult thing.
I would have totally, like, I was so much more invested in what they were building up right at the beginning. And I was disappointed that I never went back to it. Like, I already said that, but I do think if this movie made connections back to the beginning, at the very least, it would have given me something to enjoy about it.
Also, I think Danny Boy just not being able to move or talk was a little bit of a plot device. Okay, so there.
Oh, yeah.
I see that now. Because I was just like, can't move or talk. Okay, I accept that. For this long, okay, why? What happened? Like, that's a strong-ass drug. Either that, or he just, like, kind of accepted his fate. Like, all right, I guess I'm going to burn to death. And he didn't scream. Like the other dude, like the other guys were fucking freaking out. And he's just like, all right.
And everyone, okay. I think another plot convenience is just that everyone was so okay with everything that was happening. Like, in general. Like, I get the two of them started arguing, like, once like the old people started jumping off the cliff, they were like, this is really fucked up. But then they were like, oh, we got to write our reports on this. Like, and
thesis, yeah.
Nobody in the right mind would react that way. You'd get the fuck out of there.
I mean, they were at first like,
if you went there to study the tradition, then you would, yeah.
Well,
but
yeah,
that's the thing. The one guy did. But then when you found out that this is what happens, you wouldn't stick around. Come on.
Well, I think that's why they wanted to document it more. Because, like, I mean, like, Chris was also trying to say, like, oh, I mean, this is just their culture. Like, you can tell that he was getting more and more, like, kind of twisted up by this. So I guess it swapped it on me.
Yeah, and then
it swapped what I thought was going to happen because he was getting way more twisted up about it. Because, like, and also when they said, oh, the book is missing, we haven't found it, and he was just mad kissing their ass, like, no, we're not associated with that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm just confused as you are. I'm like, damn. And like, and then it ends up being Danny, the one that's just like all about like, yep, fuck it, I'm the May Queen now. Like, you know, burn my boyfriend to death.
Exactly. That's everything. Everyone went along with everything.
And at first she was like, not.
She was not having it.
Yeah, no, she was like the most disturbed out of everything, and then now she's just, and then the part that like did not settle with me, the part that made me not like the ending, was that smile at the end.
Yeah, whatever.
She like a smile. Like,
that's just something I scoffed at. Like, whatever.
Like I thought I'm like, okay, I guess this bitch is just demented now. That's I'm
the thing.
Writing it like,
I guess
this bitch is demented.
Like, are they trying to say that this place changed them, or that it brought out who they truly are? Because it felt like they were trying to say it brought out who they really are.
It kind of did both. I think you can make arguments for both, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Because you can say that, because that's a parallel to The Shining as well, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
I knew you were going to mention that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm gonna make parallels to all movies I can, really.
No, I know what you mean, but shit. No, because the last thing I was arguing that like no one would stick around and document that, like it could be argued against that. So not the most solid argument for me.
I mean, I think
because someone would maybe be like, oh, now I really have to.
The argument that they changed them is a lot more strong of an argument than it brought out who they really were, because we never really saw any even small signs of that, and we saw lots of signs that this place is fucking awful.
You know, I agree, but I think the other thing was implied more, so I don't know.
What other thing that
I just think there were a lot of
them?
I just think there were a lot of implications without actually developing any of it. And like there was implied importance to so many things, which is why I thought it was pretentious, cuz like it felt like it was so much fucking more up on itself than it actually like it didn't do anything that made it as great as it tried to present itself, I guess. You know, that's what like pretentious means, I guess. In better words than what I just used. But shit. What was I trying to say? There was one other thing I was about to bring up about something. And then you brought up The Shining.
We were talking about like, did this place change them or to bring out who they really were?
Yeah, but
also again, like that bear thing.
Oh, you know what? Hang on, I remembered.
That's another Shining parallel I'm gonna make, because like there's no symbolism about the bear ever in the movie. So I don't know why she was like put him in the bear. Like I guess that could like symbolize that he's a beast and everything or whatever, or like he fell into his desires to cheat, I guess, but he didn't because he was drugged. I guess he could, and I guess that's what the movie was trying to say with that bear thing. But
no, I already agreed.
I don't fucking know. There's a lot more bear symbolism in The Shining than there is here, and there's like absolutely fuck all to do with bears in that movie.
So hang on. What I was saying about it's arguable that someone would see how fucked up it is and choose to stay anyway, so they could share it somehow with the world. You know, but also there's the whole thing in this movie where they're like, you can't share anything, so it's really fucking unclear to that. That part's kind of unclear. But what I've been trying to say is, even if that, like, all the fucked up shit didn't drive you away from this, your friends are disappearing one by one. Little weird.
That's true. And at first, the first guy, I can almost write that off because they didn't really see him or talk to him that much. They're like, oh, he drove off without you. Okay, a little strange, a little upsetting, but all right. But then when Mr. Greaser goes,
yeah,
and they're just like,
oh, whatever,
whatever,
just never talk about it again.
And Josh went too. Yeah. He went to bed with us, but he's not here.
I was gonna say him, like the dude.
You would have think
the dude almost seemed relieved that he was just gone. Like what?
That's not a bad thing that they did. That could be like really fucked up because they were competing at that point. But again, that wasn't really like developed on. They kind of like held back on that feeling. And with the comic relief dude, I'm surprised I didn't raise any eyebrows because he peed on their ancestral tree. You would think that like, oh, okay, they obviously have a grudge on him. And same thing with that first like side dude left because he was the one being super vocal about that shit.
Yeah, and like the whole thing is a plot convenience when it comes down to it. Because the main goal of this movie is to get her to be May Queen.
Well, I think...
And, like, she wasn't even going to go.
Was that the goal that they were trying to do?
Yeah. It was all about her. There was such a focus on her.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was, like, the cult's goal, I mean. If that's what they were planning.
I felt like it was very specifically... like her, and like not just like because I'm the viewer watching the movie. I felt like the characters in the movie made this very specific to her. Like the one friend that invited them all to this seemed very honed in on her.
Oh yeah, because he wanted her. 100%.
Yeah, he wanted her to be.
He was like all about trying to seduce her, which is fucked up.
It just. And that like as soon as that guy started fucking talking about shit, like I knew immediately that guy was just like, oh, this guy's fucking gonna be a bad dude. Yeah.
Also, you can totally get rid of the scene where they just make that first stop and just get high.
Yeah.
And she runs into the woods and then passes out for the day. It's like that doesn't add anything. What does it add? So like she goes to the shed and then sees the person standing behind her, but that's never readdressed, and like we never see that face again. So it's just could have been her dad, probably fucking no. It just shows us more that like, oh, stuff that we already know, that she's not mentally stable and that they as a couple aren't working together, they're not functioning, and that she's an inconvenience to that friend group.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know.
So I don't think that scene added anything, come to think of it.
No, I agree. I
think the biggest thing that is a plot convenience is just the characters being stupid.
Yeah, well, I wrote that down. Yeah, I agree. But I think I do think her becoming May Queen is like everything needs to fit together perfectly for that to happen, and that's why everything felt so fucking already calculated.
Yeah, because she wasn't about any of that at all.
She wasn't even going to go. Yeah.
They weren't really like...
What would this movie have been like if she didn't go?
Something different. Well, I don't think...
Right? Like, what if it was just the dudes? Like, would they still be painted in this bad way?
Like, I don't know, dude.
What would even happen without her agreeing to go? Well, I don't know. I think the whole movie falls apart.
Well, that's why we're seeing this movie, though, is because she ended up going. So to say, like, oh, what if this huge, like, plot importance and reason for the movie happened? Like, what would, like... That's like saying, what if Joker character didn't get on the train or have a gun? Then we'd be seeing something entirely different. That's kind of just...
No, I don't believe that. Question. I think his character was developed to where we would have seen something happen at any point.
Oh, I think the question, at least the way you're phrasing it, is a little like a bit of a pointless question.
I think it's believable that...
That's like, well, what if we watch a different movie?
No, because I'm trying to tell you why I disagree with that. Because I think the character was developed enough and that universe was developed well enough in Joker that I believe that something would have happened with this character anyway, and he would have eventually gotten on that path. So that's the difference to me. I think in Midsommar, it's so it's so reliant on so many plot conveniences. That's just how I feel.
I don't know. I don't think it was planned from the start, at least before they got to Sweden, where she was going to be May Queen. That if it was, there's no signs of that. There's no evidence of that. If it was, then I'd be 100% on your side. I'm like, fucking okay. I don't really 100% get the goal of it, but or at least what that does. Like, cool, they kill all the men. Like,
and like I said, I do think that, like we started off with, I do think that this movie tries to, clearly. To push the idea of she's free now, the bad guy's gone. And I
didn't really get that, but I can see how you interpreted that.
All right. Well,
I get, and also it is just, it never is really developed like that. She is now like she's embracing this place until she sees him cheating on her. But again, like when she's like she must have only like seen him and her there. If she saw any of the other women there, which she absolutely must have, then she should have known, oh, this was planned.
Yeah.
The village is about this.
See, so it felt like she did know that. Village. It felt like she knew what happened. She knew it was unfair to like put this on him, but she did. Like, that's how it felt to me.
He still ultimately has the decision to it, but...
That's what you're saying.
I mean...
That's not said anywhere in the movie, and I disagree. But that's fine.
I don't know. I think that's a lot. I think that's just, I have to suspend my disbelief way too much to think. He drank a sip of something.
Oh, he drank the thing.
And then like,
he said
pretty
yes.
girl gonna go fuck her
No. He said yes. He drank the thing. Because plot convenience, stupid character. Yeah, I agree with that. But it literally seemed like, if I remember this correctly, it literally seemed like he didn't even have control of his body. Yeah, he didn't, because he couldn't even talk. So,
well, no, that was after he discovered that thing, and that
like
that
he
old
looked,
dude. Well, no, when that old dude blew the powder in his face was the only point where he couldn't talk. Afterward, before that, he was still able to move and walk and everything.
When he was, doing the cheating, he looked traumatized. He didn't look in control at all.
I don't know, man. I have to really suspend my disbelief to think you drink one thing, you're not in control of your body.
Me too, but that's a point against the movie for me. Because, that's what they tried to tell me.
Well,
that's how
I'm more or less knocking against it because I'm like, okay, what is the more logical explanation? That part of him also wants to do this, and that it makes him more open to, what the fuck word did I use?
Also, when she cheated,
influence.
she wasn't on anything.
It makes him more open to influence. Yes, she was. It makes him more open to influence.
No. Explain that.
It was possibly. Let me fucking finish my sentence first. He was more open to influence. He was possibly influenced by his own inner demons, but that's the only other explanation I have that the movie also didn't really establish either. But
no,
it's
you're
plausible,
arguing your interpretation of it.
Well, it's because I'm saying it has to be a more plausible explanation than I drink one thing and now I'm a puppet. And she did drink that thing during right before the dance, the same thing that he did.
But didn't she kiss the guy earlier? Like
No,
when
that
she
was
wasn't
after.
on anything.
No, that was after she'd done all the dancing. When she was
Did
May
she not
Queen.
kiss the dude when they were at the lodge or whatever?
No, they were at the. I guess it could be hinted at, but it didn't show them actually doing it until.
Well, if it didn't show it, I wouldn't argue it. I just don't remember the movie correctly then.
It was after she was May Queen, and then it was a prolonged moment. So I felt okay, that has to be the time that they did it. If it was just a peck, then I'm like, they must have done that somewhere in between shots or something. But again,
I don't know.
Nothing there like that. So. I think I'll toss you that I do think that this movie is theory bait.
Yeah, because they didn't want to really do the work. I don't know.
They really want to do a whole lot with it.
No,
there's a lot of loose ends that could be like this, where I have all these different
because I need to
interpretations.
I need to get out there that if I thought the dude was doing everything and it was under his control, and if I thought she was doing everything under her control, then the ending would have made more sense.
Yeah.
If he just kind of cheated on her, then that's different. But what you see is him resisting cheating for most of the movie. Because there's the girl who's basically set out to get him to cheat.
She's on a mission,
Yeah. And he resists it. And then he gets on this drug and seemingly loses control, I think. And I guess that's a difference in interpretation right there.
Oh, I also think the amount of usage of drugs is a little bit of a cop out.
Yeah, it just makes everything
oh, that's just the explanation for everything. Oh, why did they all do this? Oh, drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some parts where the cult is doing some mind control and games like that.
And for her, I don't know. The implication, what I interpreted at the end, was that she was clear of mind, choosing to kill him.
She looked really emotional when the guy was like, now you await your verdict, and she was looking on the verge of crying.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I just mean not drugged up or not influenced.
No, she wasn't drugged up, but she was influenced by her own emotions.
By emotions, yeah, but that's human. So they're saying that she made this decision because that's how she felt.
Yeah.
And that just makes her character seem pretty shitty to me. So I don't know.
It's funny when you think about just the before and after, where it's before these group of guys that aren't wild about her, including her boyfriend, she comes along to the Swedish trip because she's mourning her dead parents, And then by the end of the movie, all the group of guys are dead, and she's smiling and a bunch of flowers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. But just quickly, I think because we started with it, I think the way that the dude handled it before any of the shit happened was, and I don't remember every piece of this. Maybe he did something shitty or something that I don't remember. Like, I would probably agree. But I think generally he handled it a way that a person would handle it.
No, he was pretty bad to her.
Why?
Like in the first phone call, you can tell. You can tell there was a disconnect with them, and then like,
but that's fine.
when she wasn't okay and he wasn't caring.
Wait.
Like she was crying, and then she said, "I love you," and he's like, "Love you too." You know, like it was also a long pause.
Well, what are you?
There.
That's just like,
He was not about it.
but that's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that he's putting her through that the whole time ain't okay.
But what should he do?
Have a talk with her. Be honest.
What do you mean?
He should have been honest with his feelings.
So you should leave someone in that position?
No, but you shouldn't make them like, question it.
This is a moral question.
Yeah, but he wasn't being supportive.
I wouldn't do the same.
He wasn't necessarily being supportive either.
I wouldn't do the same, but I see his intentions.
His intentions were, sure, I guess I'll stay here and do the bare minimum. He wasn't really like looking out for her.
He tried to be there for her.
Tried like, this is also before
he tried to be there for
This
her.
is before he found out that her parents were even dead too.
He tried to be there for her regardless of what he wanted to do. And I don't know. I just don't think it's like,
sometimes being there, regardless whether or not you want to, affects the other person in a negative way as well.
I don't think it's
not so one-sided.
I don't think it's in the cards for everyone to be there, or to be honest and leave somebody who's just fucking had their parents killed.
This was before he found out that her parents were dead.
Oh, you're talking about the phone call though.
Yeah.
I literally didn't think there was anything wrong with the phone call. I was like, okay, he wants to break up with her.
Yeah, pretty much. So the guy's. I wouldn't say the guy's free of fault.
No, but I do think he's human. I'm not saying he's free of fault.
Sure. I mean, it just sounds like that you're totally on his side.
What? Stop putting words in my mouth.
That's what I'm getting.
I literally said I think he was trying.
Okay, then
I wasn't like he's great.
Okay, that's what I was hearing. Okay.
I said I can see like that he is trying.
Okay, I can agree there.
And it's a hard situation.
Okay.
Yeah, and people approach them differently. And
I can agree
had
there
nothing.
because he was like, "All right, I invited Danny."
I had zero against her at that point. Actually, when I think the shittiest thing he did up until that point was when he was like, I told her she could come, but don't worry, she's not going to come. And then I was just like, don't make that situation for yourself.
I was just like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, like, when something shitty happened, it was shitty, but I think generally it did a good job of making his and her motives at the beginning, like, known. And it was like, it's a gray area. Or so I thought, because apparently the movie thinks he's a piece of shit. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's just what I was saying. I don't think it's fair to be like, this is a shitty guy right here. And, like, this is... The reason
he's not a piece of shit.
The reason
he's not free of fault.
The reason I have to defend that character's motivations is because the movie doesn't, and the movie calls her perfect, basically. so that's where where someone has to step in and be like, what the fuck?
They're both wrong, but yeah.
No, that's where I stand too.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this enough. It's been like over an hour already.
I agree. No, it's like right on the hour, which is good because we're probably gonna have a short conversation about yours.
Yeah. So
it's like Spider-Man.
There we go.
Week.
We finally, we had our discussion on Hereditary. I kind of agree with you.
On Hereditary.
I kind of argue with you.
I wish.
Why the fuck
it was
did I
on
say
Midsommar.
Hereditary? Midsommar. Yeah, kind of agree with you. Kind of argue with you.
Yeah, it clearly, I felt like it was mostly arguing, which is good. I wanted like a real conversation about
Well, we
it.
both see what each other like about and don't like what we have faults with. So we both heard each other's side pretty much.
Yeah, like ultimately my rating with this movie is
I think you changed my rating on it.
Oh, well, my rating on this movie is higher than you would think, I think. Because I literally can't as objective as possible. I can't fault it for a lot of things, but if I give my personal rating, it would be lower.
Okay.
But yeah, so we mostly covered pretty much everything we need to, I think.
I think I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7
Okay.
on this. I think it's sitting at a 6 now. I was feeling a 7 earlier. Now I'm like, yeah, you're right about some of these. So it's a 6.
Okay.
I don't think I really want to watch this again. I want to at least like forget a lot about it, and then I'll show someone later, and then I'll wish I haven't seen it again.
Mhm.
With with some of the disturbing scenes and whatnot. Because this thing does
so long.
those do linger with me. Yeah, I do feel the length of it as well.
Mhm.
So yeah.
No, I agree that those parts stay with you. I just had to make that distinction of like that doesn't equal good to me.
I think it does it fairly well though.
All right. Well, I gave this movie a 5.
That's fair.
That's that's my objective as possible ranking for it, because I think there were enough redeemable things about it, not regarding the characters and the plot, that this movie can sit at a 5, in my opinion. But like on a level of like enjoyment, like it's like a 2. I don't know. I'm prone to bitch about this movie more than anything. If I'm gonna have a discussion with someone, it's gonna be about all the things it did wrong, like you just saw. So on my personal rating, I didn't enjoy it at all, really. I enjoyed the opening, so it gets a 2.
Damn.
But yeah, it's a 5 if I'm trying to be as objective as I can. All right. So we did our first we talked about something just to talk about it.
Yeah,
it wasn't
okay.
something one of us loved or anything.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's done now, so let's get into it.
Let's move on to yours.
My recommendation to you, which was kind of like, I don't know, I just tossed at you, see what would happen.
A music album.
Pretty much. A music album. Selling England by the Pound by Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The 1973 album, which I think probably their biggest album, at least like one that like people will point to as like this is like a classic of music and prog rock, and probably Genesis's best album. Probably second to Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which I like better, but I had to listen to this one because I had Mercy on You.
Okay.
So I guess we can just go track by track, because I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. I did have to hear it quite a few times before I really like was able to distinguish tracks and like have an opinion on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
and also I had to like acclimate to the sound, I guess, because I haven't really heard Phil Collins stuff.
I hope you'll have stuff to say, because you know these songs way better than I do.
Yeah.
I can just tell you what I thought of it track by track.
Yeah, or
and I
do general thoughts as well.
I can't give you a ton of specifics for track by track, because as I have said, like kind of the reason I don't listen to progressive rock is because like it really gets hard to distinguish a lot of it for me. So you want to go track by track then?
Sure. I guess that was your
We're gonna have some disagreements here, I think.
I guess that was your general thoughts about it.
Yeah, and I got an overall rating for it. So
we probably will have similar opinions because again,
We'll see.
I wasn't wild on this album at first. I was just like, yeah, you know. Now
We'll
I'm
see.
like, it seems pretty good.
We'll see, because I
think.
think
I don't want to sway you.
I think my only dislike is one that you like a lot. So generally, okay, yeah.
Wait, you know which one I like a lot on this one?
I think so. I think generally I thought it was a good listen. It was worth the while. I liked
that's
it.
good. You know what? I can take that.
Generally, I enjoyed it.
Okay, if you enjoyed it, that's really all I wanted out of this.
Okay, now for the track by track, because it is pretty split. I just have to say overall, I generally enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So let's get down to the track by track.
All right. I guess you want me to name it off.
That's the thing.
All right. The opening track, "Dancing with the Moonlit Night."
All right, it's in like, and it's easily my favorite on this album.
You know, I can say that as well too.
Oh, okay.
That's easily my favorite too.
All right, interesting.
All right, that's it. That's the show, guys. That's the podcast.
No.
Time to blow out this candle.
Okay, no. Yeah,
Well, because you get the line selling them by the pound.
I just thought it was a great melody and a great build.
It's
and
got a
there's
great build to it. Yeah.
every part of it. Like I can't sit here and repeat the parts, but the multiple parts stuck out. The guitar work stuck out. I remember that.
Boom.
The initial build was probably my favorite.
Also, the rhythm that that Phil Collins sings in, like the lyrics, is really weird.
The melody and everything.
Yeah, like right in the beginning.
I like it though.
Old man, say you are what you eat well. Like it's like really strange.
I didn't notice any strangeness, but I don't know.
Well, because
just
there's not a
was
whole
like-
lot going in the background. But like if I were to write out that rhythm for you to play, it'd be very strange. But yeah, and then it all comes together
Mhm.
with the Then you get that explosive build.
Yeah, and
and
there's I like the guitar
And
work.
then it
like I
dives
said.
straight into like kind of like a riffy rock sounding guitar solo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I think it's like a cabinet, some shit, some piano instrument just going wild, pretty much. That helps it drive along until it slows back down.
Yep.
I think it's a fantastic opening to this album.
Like I said, I think it's the best it gets. Not to say I didn't like other songs here, but definitely, I think that's yep. All right.
I may or may not have to hear the second track. I think I know how it starts.
Track 2.
I know what I like in your wardrobe.
I know what I dislike. I put it in dislike. That's the only dislike I had.
I can fuck with that. It's a jam.
I totally felt like this would be like one of your favorites on the album.
I want to say it. Oh wait, no.
Because I've heard you sing. Yeah, I've heard you sing.
Yeah, no, I really like this one. Now I know.
Yeah, I've heard you sing that. Or mention it, make some reference in a Game Shed episode or something. No, I don't know why it didn't do it for me. Because I know in my heart that it's not that different from the rest of the album.
Yes. So I don't know.
But nothing in it really clicked with me like some of these other songs did.
I think I like the melody and like again how it builds when it goes to that high note. I mean the talking is a bit strange, but I really like it too. And then it just right after that goes straight into another solo.
Yeah, the talking's usually one way immediately that I'm like, I don't know if this song's
it's a
for
really
me.
cool type of talking though. Like it's not just he talks in a funny way, I guess.
The rest of the song would have had to really get me to not to look past the talking. Like I don't think having a talking section means I'm not going to like the song. Look at the Sweater Song, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really remember the talking segment. I'm like, oh yeah, it's this song.
No, but it just immediately doesn't catch it. Immediately turns away from my ear, you know.
Interesting.
And then as it went on, just none of it was amazing. I didn't think. I don't know why, because I'm very clear on that. It's not terribly different from any other track.
I just think the melody is great, and I thought you would have liked it.
None of the parts are recurring parts.
It's definitely stuck in my head before. If you heard me sing it before, which I don't remember doing.
None of the parts are like the recurring parts individually were like as nearly as good as the first track, at least, or some of the other ones, I guess, because it's the only one I have here in dislike.
Okay, weird that this is the only one in dislike, but all right. I guess I could take that. You kind of disappointed me there.
I knew it. I told you.
That's a disappointment.
I told you we'd have.
Right.
You think you wouldn't like that.
I knew this one was the piano one. Okay, so the third track, Firth of Fifth.
Fifth of Filth.
Filth of Firth.
I think it's Fifth of Filth.
Oh no, it's. I thought you were joking. No, it's Firth of Fifth.
Are you sure?
It's right there.
Huh. All right.
It's a little tough to read, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I wrote Fifth of Filth.
Filth of Filth.
And I was like, that's a weird name. I was looking at it on the treadmill or on the elliptical.
I guess thing. Yeah. It's a little tough to read.
Well, that one I thought I liked. Like I remembered liking that one. But ultimately it ended up in lukewarm. And I wrote. That's one of the like 2 songs I wrote notes for. I just wrote.
Yeah.
I definitely like parts. Other parts drag.
I definitely love the piano part right in the beginning.
I like that. Shit. I like that. There's definitely parts that stand out. It's just other parts I'm like, we're meandering a little bit. Kind of lost me. And then like, it's back and forth between being enjoyable and just kind of going.
I mean, it is a 9-minute song.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why it doesn't grip you all entirely. And I can understand that too. Like when we the thing is I found about Genesis is that like at least in the intro, you hear the music and you think you know where it's going, and then the vocals come in and does something entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's this song as well. I think it's still really good though.
I think I liked it originally, like I put it in likes because it was like because I was listening on like at the gym and I knew I liked track 1 a lot. And then track 2 I didn't like, and then 3 came on and I was like, okay, this is better. So I think I just like overestimated how much I was enjoying it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's bad. I just think it's inconsistent with itself.
I can accept that.
Okay.
So I guess I'd also put a majority of it in lukewarm, I guess, at least from what I can remember. But the piano part is definitely a bop, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, I like the piano at the beginning.
All right. Next one. More Fool Me.
I put that in likes, and I can't tell you why. Because I don't remember.
I imagine this was another one that you would really like.
Which one is this?
More Fool Me.
Oh, is this the one that's like completely acoustic?
The one who was laughing.
I liked it.
Especially when things went going your way. Yeah, that was all acoustic.
So you like that one?
Oh yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah,
I guess like that's another one where it's acoustic and vocals where I really fuck with. And honestly, more and more I listen to it, I can hear this being a pup melody.
That's weird. I'd have to listen to it thinking of that, but I don't
listen to it again. You could probably hear it on Morbid Stuff if you just put guitars and just.
I don't know. It made it into the likes category for me.
She had enough. More Fool Me. This is a fucks with for me. Probably my second favorite on here. And then how the fuck does this one go?
It's probably my second favorite too.
So I guess we have the same opinion on this album, at least so far.
Somewhat.
Battle of the Epping Forest.
Did I not end up placing this one? I think it's in lukewarm.
Okay. I definitely like this one too. This one funky and driving.
Yeah, this one was kind of the same thing where I liked parts. I think my parts dragged.
I think my first few listens, More Fool Me slipped under my radar. I was like, oh, it's an acoustic song, whatever. And then this one comes back and grabs my attention. There's just a lot of driving, and the organ work is like amazing, I think.
Yeah, well, I wasn't listening for technicality or anything.
Gotcha. Well, like I think just the sound of it, and then I think there is like a little synth solo there.
Well, I think there were solos going on. There's solos going on, sure.
Oh
but
yeah, that's that one. This is that one weird song. Big Nick. That's a little funky.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm not huge on that part. I think that's a little repetitive, but I think the rest of it, like the instrumentals, I think that hits it's right on the money.
I think parts of it were good, other parts dragged. So I guess that's the same note.
I guess that's your whole like kind of
for anything in lukewarm. That's pretty much the idea on this album.
Okay, and then after the ordeal.
I guess I put that in lukewarm too. Isn't that just the instrumental track?
I think so. I think it is. Yeah, it's just the piano and the.
Yeah, it's not bad for what it is.
Yeah, I think this is a bit more of a forgettable instrumental track, honestly. Because rhythmically it's all kind of the same. It's just. Again, piano work is amazing. I think Genesis as a whole, I think this is one of the more talented prog rock bands. I think I would go as far as say the most talented prog rock band.
All right. Yeah.
But and in terms of on a technical level.
Yeah, for me, I'm not going to hear something technical and be like, oh, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing they can do that, but that's not why I would listen to it.
All right, I guess we can just skip right over that. And then the cinema show.
The cinema show? I put this in like.
Okay, what did you like about this?
I can't remember. Well, yeah, you can play me a clip, but it's ultimately probably like a 9-minute song.
Is it 9 minutes?
I don't know how long.
It is a 10-minute song. That's crazy. I don't remember.
So apparently I liked it consistently enough.
I don't remember this album having this long of song. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I try to avoid like this long of songs, but I genuinely was like, these songs aren't that long, so it changes it up for me enough for me to think, today I fucking learned that's 10 minutes. Jesus.
I think that might be the one where like for the first 5 or 6 minutes, there's like a lot of vocals going on, but then like the last 3 or 4 are mostly. It's mostly instrumental. I don't know. One of the songs on here was like that, and I know I liked all the parts that had the vocals, and like the little instrumental parts in between I enjoyed, but when it just went into like 3 minutes of just the music, I think it lost me a bit. That might not even be the song. I just know it was one of the ones on here.
Yeah, I think this
might be it.
I think this one's a lukewarm for me just because it kind of falls under my radar. I don't really remember it.
Okay.
I definitely don't remember it being 10 minutes. Isle of Plenty.
I put that in like...
This
because I liked how it wrapped everything up. It took... If I'm not mistaken, it went back to the melody from the first song?
Yep, it does. I was just about to say that. That's what it sounds like pretty close.
If not, it's definitely reminiscent of it. And it's just a sweet little outro. 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only 1.5 minutes as well.
It doesn't really hold up as its own song, but
I definitely like it as well. So.
Really is a nice little final touch to this album.
So then I guess you would also like... Yeah, I like it too. It's a good final touch. That's definitely a like for me too. So... I mean, if you enjoyed it enough, I think we might have the same opinion on it. I probably would rank it higher, but I think then you would like...
No, I don't think so.
I think you would like The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway a lot more, but it's a lot longer of an album, so, I mean, that's completely up to you. That's optional. This album does the same thing, where, like, later on, like, near the end, it goes back to the same melody as the first song, and the first song on this is like take Dancing with the Moonlit Light and then fucking like triple that. I'm like, yeah, the opening song gets me fucking like hype, I guess, and it's feel good too. And there's a lot of emotional shit too in here, so I mean that's up to you if you want to like look more into it. If not, I understand. It's fine. So
I understand.
It's not. I understand. Genesis ain't for everybody, but at least I like that you enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I thought it was
Definitely
good.
So, like it or hate it, what would you rate it?
I I think I have to. I think we're like on the same page. I think I gotta give it like a strong 6 or a light 7, because I was thinking 7 or light 7, and then the discussion always fucking puts things into perspective. And it seems to lean on a 6 here, because I was just looking at how much of the album I categorized into like versus lukewarm or dislike, and there was only one song I really didn't get anything out of, but
the rest of it just kind of falls.
There was a lot in the lukewarm. It was like, I think it was like 4. Was it 4 likes? Yeah, it was. I liked 1, 2, 3, 4 songs. So half the album, I'd say I consistently enjoyed, and I disliked the song. So I feel like in the 6 area.
That's pretty much what I expected, honestly. Is for most of the album to like, fall on your radar, but if you enjoy it enough, like
I enjoyed the first song a lot. Like I put like a bunch of stars next to it to be like, yeah, but emphasize that this opening track's really good. Like I was thinking I might really enjoy this album when I was listening to that. Okay. And then like it was the height of the album.
Then can I add like a mini bonus recommendation then? Because then I would say listen to the opening track of Lamb Lies Down. Just the first song. That's how long? That's less than 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. And if you like that, keep going if you want. Because I don't think the opening track is the height of this album at all. Whereas I can kind of agree that with Selling England.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you like this, if you think it's better, keep going. If not, I don't mind. That's not your full recommendation, but yeah. I mean, I would give Selling England by the Pound a good 9. I think it's a light 9.
Huh.
I think it's a really solid album all the way through. It's a good listen. I hear any song and I'm like, it's pretty, like, this is it. This is their sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess there's that.
Yeah.
You got nothing more to say?
No, we didn't discuss it for terribly long. It was like last week's podcast.
That's what I figured.
We went for like 20.
Unless it's like a huge album that either of us are big on, we're not going to talk about for very long.
Yeah, well, there was only 8 songs, and it's not the kind of... They weren't the kind of songs you can easily digest and remember each part and be like, yes, this is specifically what I took from it that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I sat there and took a bunch of notes on each part or something. But so yeah, that's our discussion.
I guess that's it. That's the show here, guys. Did you come up with any recs in the meantime?
I don't think, like, I have something I could give you, but I was trying to think of something that I was more passionately wanting to give you. I feel safest giving you a movie, so I was trying really hard to think of some movie to wreck you, but I don't.
I was thinking of another movie so I can shake it up for you, rather than I can just rapid fire you some progressive rock.
Yeah,
or like albums I want you to hear.
I think you've only done music. Well,
no, I did do the Spider-Man.
Yeah, other than the last one.
But before that, what'd you have? You had the White Album. And then after that, I gave you Spider-Man. We've only done this 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you gave me, you gave me Either Or, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah,
you gave me Good Will Hunting, then Either Or, and then No, wait, we did this 4 times. My 4th one, because you gave me also. What
was the first thing you told me to?
The first thing I told you was the White Album.
When we did Good Will Hunting?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
We're already losing track of what was happening.
Yeah, we already lost track of what we've talked about.
Fuck else did I recommend you?
Well, I've got our list of videos right here. When we talked about Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I recommended
Skyrim.
you play Skyrim. That's right.
Yeah,
I gave
okay.
you a game. That's why I was like, that. I am confused myself.
Yeah, you always give the heavier recs, and then I give the lighter ones, and then I do them, and you don't.
Well, you've got more time to do it than me. But
I'm busy this month, but yeah, I'm still getting them done. So I don't know. I'm always worried about recommending you an album as well, because movies are the easiest.
you have to sit through it once and you're done. I mean, I feel like I could have listened to 3 albums in the time I watched Midsommar.
Like I would have wrecked you, like Lord of the Rings, for example. Even just the first one, like you were doing with Spider-Man. But I would have to rewatch it too.
Because it's been a while for you.
I haven't seen it in a long time. And I don't know how much you can get out of just watching one, because I haven't in so long. But you have one figured out, or what?
Well, if you don't, then I don't.
You don't? Well, I was saying I might decide on one while you give me yours, because I think I'm going to look at some of the notes I took before to give you one.
See, I wish I knew more movies. Because like when we talk about it, I'm like, oh, this movie, but then I fucking forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Like if I look at my decade list, I could probably come up with something you haven't seen that I could have you watch, for example. So, did you have something?
I'm gonna give you I guess I'll keep it boring. I'm gonna give you more music.
All right.
I'm gonna give you a more interesting listen though.
Okay.
I think you've already heard 2 once before, but I do want your full thoughts on it.
2? Oh, you think I've heard it? Okay.
Yeah, I think you heard it, but I want your full thoughts on it.
Okay.
The Mollusk by Ween.
Okay. Well, I'll have fun with that.
Because that one's a way more fun of a listen. Oh, I won't say way more fun, but it's like, I think it's a really interesting listen. So I think it's wild. I think it'll be a wild ride for you.
All right, I think I'll be driving back to LA at some point this week, maybe also.
Some of that would be good for the gym too.
Okay. Well, I'm not
actually. You could rec me music. I do have the day off tomorrow, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing music for you. I'm looking at my albums of the decade.
And then I guess next time I'll think of a fucking movie.
If it was in my hands to rec you whatever I wanted, it would get really boring really fast, because I'd just give you more Elliott Smith or something. Like, because that's how
you give me brand new.
That's how
Elliott Smith. Bright Eyes.
Yeah, I'd give you whatever I'm into.
Gaslight Anthem.
Immediately at the moment. See, I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Listen to the albums I gave you for Christmas.
The albums you gave me for Christmas.
See, you already forgot.
What are you talking about?
Silent Hill.
Well, yeah, you're talking about soundtracks.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ween, the Mollusk. What can I rec you then? I'll give you music. I just don't know what.
Oh.
I'm really trying to decide if it's just pointless to rec you some Gaslight Anthem or not.
Well, I got a lot out of No Use for a Name, more than I thought. More than either of us thought. Yeah. I thought it would be pretty useless giving you Genesis, so I was like, fuck it, I just want to see.
Yeah, I think this might be that same kind of situation if I did that. So I was kind of thinking I could rec you like a Frank Turner album you're not familiar with.
I like Frank Turner.
Yeah, so maybe you'd enjoy that more. So let me see how many songs I know on this album, because I might rec this album to you. But if not, I'm going to give you a Gaslight Anthem album. Oh, fucking Spotify makes it confusing. Because they only have the deluxe edition.
Ah,
All right,
dang.
then.
I know, kind of on the spot, and all of a sudden.
Let's be, I'll go counterintuitive. I'll give you a Gaslight Anthem album.
I fucking said Gaslight Anthem. Here we go.
But I'm not going to give you the album I would give most people.
Okay.
I'm going to give you actually most people's least favorite album of theirs. And that's Get Hurt. It's their...
Wait, people don't know this one?
It's the one people like the least.
Why are you giving me that? Why are you giving me that one then?
I like it.
Okay. That's the song. Whoops. Album. Deluxe. Wait.
Not the deluxe edition.
There we go.
But it does have deluxe songs on it anyway. Technically, the last song on the album is supposed to be Dark Places, so the last 4 are added. Like if you just bought the CD, the last song would be Dark Places.
Okay.
So you can stop there if you want. Or listen to the last 4. I really do like the last 3 out of the last 4. I don't actually know the last one here. But yeah, so I don't know. I think this will be more up your alley than something like the 59 Sound, which is pretty much agreed to be like their best album, I guess. But I just think it does all have a very specific sound to it, the 59 Sound. So I think it's not a sound you'd be crazy about, and then if every song just followed that pattern, it wouldn't do much for you. So I want to see what you think of this one, because it's kind of more evolved. Like every song has a little bit of something of its own to it, I think.
All right. So, and you got the Mollusk and Lamb Lies Down Broadway first track.
Okay, so
Opening track.
since we're talking about 2 albums next week, it's probably going to be relatively quick. So we should think of our main topic as well. And I'm just saying that so we know that we're going to do that.
Okay.
Not saying let's decide right now, but let's decide like right after.
Okay.
We
Well, I do
blow out
have that
this
list
candle.
of topics, so.
Yeah. Cool. So next week we'll have a main topic, and we'll be talking about
A couple albums that we'll try to like go quickly on.
Ween's The Mollusk and the Gaslight Anthems Get Hurt. Yep. All right. So we're gonna blow out this candle then.
Is it my turn now?
Oh, you want me to do it? That's fine.
Okay.
This is
you
the
do it.
shortest podcast we've had where we didn't need it to be this short.
We should look
By
at
the
that.
way. All right.
Neat. All right. Blowout time.